capturing the belt this evening?
Man, I can't believe it. This moment is so special. I'm always, trying to make jokes and play with everybody, but today was an emotional day for me. I start to cry because I feel it in the bottom of my heart. This moment is, I work so hard for that fucking belt. It's pretty. It's pretty. I have 10 years like a professional, 15 years doing this sport. And this moment is so special not just for me, it's special for all the people around me, who support me in all this journey.
You said it was 6 months of preparation after the first fight, a 6-month camp. I guess, what was the biggest thing you learned out of that first meeting that you were able to adjust to or change or make a difference?
I learned too much about myself. I can talk with you about a lot of technical stuff, like the kicks, the boxing, the Muay Thai, all that stuff. But I learned too much. I'm real, and my mind is made with another material, different material, definitely. So I worked so hard. 6 months was so long. This training camp, take 2 or 3 years of my life, but I don't care, I have the belt. I have the belt right now, and that is the most important thing. And man, I don't have enough words to explain how I feel today.
Yeah. Earlier this week, you kept your cool, but I'm wondering, what went through your head when he shoved you at the press conference? Did you think, like, I'm in his head a little bit, or what did you think?
I won there. Actually, I saw Figueiredo in the press conference. He looks different. He keep his sunglasses. Don't want to watch me directly to the eyes. The same in the ceremonial weigh-ins, and I don't know. I was very confident. For me, a lot of technique, really good game plan, but my mindset. I was very confident. My mindset was the key of the victory so far.
Yeah. What went through your head in the opening round? I think you probably thought you were getting out of there in the first. What went through your head, and how did you kind of readjust and refocus?
I saw him going to the ground, but I go for him. But I try to be very patient and very smart. I try to keep position, and because my corners tell me how many times in the round. So I keep a lot of patience there, keep the domination in the fight.
Nice. Ultimately, you finished it off with a beautiful choke. Did you think that the jiu-jitsu was going to be the way to get it done tonight?
Man, the jiu-jitsu always was, my key of the victory. When I start in the sport, and I start to win fights, the jiu-jitsu was always the key, real naked chokes, triangles, guillotines. But I'm starting to do more striking because I think I needed to improve in that area. But my jiu-jitsu always is there to help me to keep the winning line.
I know this win is for you, it's for your team, it's for your family and all that, but obviously the history of you being the first Mexican-born champion, what does it mean for you to represent Mexico as well as a UFC champ?
Man, that was one of my principal goals, Obviously, I have too much respect for guys like Cain Velasquez, like Henry Cejudo. They put too much work in the sport for my country too. Cain Velasquez bring the UFC to Mexico in 2014. That was amazing. He put the mixed martial arts in Mexico in another level. But now, I born in Tijuana. I born in Tijuana. I grew up there. I went to the school there. I suffered the bad opportunities, fucking government there, the huge companies don't put support in the sports, especially in the mixed martial arts because it's a new sport for the country. So man, I know with this belt I put the sport in other level, and that made me feel amazing.
That's awesome. And last thing for me, surely you want to enjoy this, and now that you're the champ, you don't have to call anybody out. They have to come to you. But are there any fights that are important to you or make sense to you? Are there names that you want to see in a title defense?
Yes, definitely yes. This training camp was so long. to be honest, was 6 months. 6 months of preparations. I mean, game plan, drills, going to the gym, trying to make every single movement of the fight. My mind, was so. I need vacations. I need to go to some beach. I don't know where, but I need to rest. I need to rest because after the first fight, I try to enjoy, my family in the Christmas, but one part of my mind is still in the fight, is still with Figueiredo, is still with the pressure of the next fight because I knew the rematch will come in, So, I don't know, man, I have some names, Askar Askarov is doing very well. Cody Garbrandt, he wanted to come to the division, but he lost his last fight against Rod Font, so I don't know. The trilogy against Figueiredo can be a possibility, but this fight wasn't even close, So I don't know, man. I just want to go to my house, put my cell phone, and enjoy my family and a lot of bad food. Why not?
Brandon over here.
Physically, how did Deiveson Figueiredo feel in there compared to your first fight?
Man, we need to be honest. He cut too much weight. I think it's unnecessary. This sport is so hard because you cut weight because you want some advantage in the fight. You want to feel stronger. You want to feel with more energy than your opponent. But man, we saw actually the embedded. Figueiredo crying after make weight. Very dramatic in the last minute of the time. I think it's unnecessary, but obviously it's not my decision. It's decision of his team and him. Sorry.
What did you two say in the octagon after? Look, he came over and put his arm around you. He lifted your arm up. You guys talked after Deiveson tonight. What did you guys talk about in there?
He's speaking Portuguese, to be honest. So I don't know. But man, he was very respectful, and I knew that the guy, he tried to put some special flavor in the fight, trying to be the bad guy, but that doesn't work with me, my mindset is different. So the guy is a father as me, he has a family, he has a wife, a daughter, so the guys are nice people, just sometimes he tried too much to be the bad guy, but it's not necessary. He's a respectful guy, and I really appreciate it.
And finally, looking at through Twitter, fighters like John Jones, Daniel Cormier, Jorge Masvidal, they're all praising you on Twitter. Nate Diaz was just in here, and when we asked about you, he started to clap and said it was an awesome fight, and he's really happy for you winning your title. So what does it mean that your fellow fighters, people that you watched growing up, are praising you?
It's a dream come true. I'm not very huge fan of all these guys, Imagine that, Actually, I had photo. Friends in Ghana come with me. Can I take a picture? And Justin Gaethje, can I take a picture with? Man, I want a picture with them, So man, this is a dream come true, and I really appreciate it. All these guys like my work, and I love it.
Brandon over here. Congrats, champ.
Thank you.
Would it be safe to say that you came in the first fight, you thought you could win, but you came in today, you knew you could win?
Sorry again?
Your mindset from the first time to the second time, like you thought you could win, but it seemed like this all week, it said you walked around with that swag, like you knew you were gonna win because you were bullying the bully.
Yeah. So, good one. First of all, my mind is very strong, because I had very bad moments in my life, For example, 2018, I hate that year of my life. It was horrible. I lost 2 fights in a row. UFC released me to the company. I start to, I need money. I need everything. Problems, my surgery of my daughter. Was a hard moment. And all these moments built my mind until today. So, in the press conference, he pushed me. Figueiredo pushed me, but my mind was in the correct way, My mind was always focused on what happened, Like, I don't care. You can push me 100 times if you want, but that nothing changed. I'll be the next flyweight champion of the world, and I'm the best, you know. I have a lot of memories with Rose Namajunas. That was a special moment for me, you know, because she was an underdog against Joanna, and she was an underdog against Whaley. And I remember that moment when she started to say to themselves, like, I'm the best. Like, that was like, wow. You need to believe that, you know. And my mind is building with another material, definitely.
Have any Mexican combat stores reached out to you, like Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. or Canelo or any of them? And do you inspire to get to that level? Because these guys get a lot of love. When they show up to any boxing fight, people go crazy. You inspire to get to that level, but bring it to the MMA side.
Man, obviously in Mexico we have a huge culture, a huge history in the boxing, you know, in combat sports in general, but definitely in boxing. Right now it's Canelo Alvarez, but before was Julio Cesar Chavez. My favorite boxing fighter is Juan Manuel Marquez. I love, for example, the fight against Katsidis. I love that matchup. So this is mixed martial arts. You know, it's a new sport. I mean, for the world. Even for the world, it's a new sport. Imagine for my country, for Mexico. So I'm doing the correct things to put the mixed martial arts in other place, and I'm making history. You know, right now, the guy from Tijuana, the kid from Tijuana is the champion. So I love to start to think I'm part of the history of the sport tonight.
And something that has to do with fighting, but has to do with your life. You're very proud for being from Tijuana. Canelo's talked about he moved to San Diego because once he started winning, his family became a target. Is there anything now that your name's out there and people know who you are, do you think you might have to move across the border, something that we don't have to deal in the States, but you have to deal over there in Mexico?
Man, I mean, for example, after the last fight, I bought a house in Las Vegas. You know, definitely was a professional decision because I'm part of the broadcasting for the UFC in Spanish, and the production is in the Apex. The Performance Institute is in Las Vegas. They give me physical therapies. They give me free food. They give me everything. So it was a professional decision to me to move all my life to Las Vegas. In the future, I want to go again to Mexico, to Tijuana, no? But right now, I need to live there for my family. Everything is not just for me. It's not for me. It's for my wife. It's for my daughters. You know. So if I need to die for them, I can do that. You know. I don't care nothing. The people know my love for my country. The people know the love for my city, for Tijuana. I still have my house, another house there. But right now I live in Vegas. I'm very comfortable there. In the future, we'll see. You know, I want to go again to Tijuana, but right now it is what it is.
And final question for me: how cool is it have all week have all the support from the people here in Arizona, and then now that you got the belt, you got people all across the globe that know who Brandon Moreno is.
Man, it's crazy. Actually, last Tuesday, I had interviews from Australia, I think so, and India. What's crazy? You know, imagine Brandon Moreno with fans in India, with fans in Asia, a lot of Mexican people here in Phoenix, a lot of support, a lot of people support me. When I start to walk to the octagon, all the people was crazy in that moment when I got the real naked choke and won the fight. The people was crazy in that moment. I fought here in Phoenix before to come to the UFC. So the people know me here in Phoenix, and definitely Phoenix has a special place in my heart.
Brandon, to your left over here. Brandon. Hey, man. Who do you predict will be the next Mexican champion after you?
Oof, good question, bro. I mean, obviously, Pantera Rodriguez has an important fight against Max Holloway. I understand that people say Pantera is the underdog, but you never know. You never know because this sport is about the styles, and Pantera has a crazy style of fighting. You know, Alexa Grasso moving to the flyweight division looks impressive. Looks definitely better than in 115. Irene Aldana had the opportunity against Holly Holm. Was on a hard fight for her, but she's still there. You know, I don't know, man. I don't know. Mowgli Benitez, he's working so hard. Who more? Others. We have a lot of. I don't wanna make any mistake because we start to other Mexican fighters start to come to the company. So it's about work, man. It's about hard work, and that's it.
For sure. And I was there in Portland for your UFC debut.
Oof,
You got that
man,
upset
thank you.
over Luis Smolka, and biggest moment of that night. Just everybody went crazy for you getting that upset. Would you ever have imagined that you'd have something that would top that the way that this did?
Obviously, yes. You know, I don't knew about the time. You know, but all my life was for this. I mean, all my life in this sport was for this, and I did it today. I remember the fight against Luis Smolka was very inspiring. That I was very inspired in that moment because was in short notice. The season of the Ultimate Fighter was on TV in that point. So anybody expect too much about my performance that night, but again, I was very confident. You know, I don't care that shit of the underdog. I don't care that. You know, the people can talk and the people can start to predict what happened in the fights, but I have the last word.
Congrats, champ.
Thank you, bro.
Hey, Brandon, right up the middle. I think the most beautiful part of the whole night was on your way in when you stopped and kissed your daughter. How much does that mean to you have your family here? Do you fight different when they're in the arena?
I was on fire in that moment. When I saw my daughter, my mind started to, you know, actually, I say that before, but, you know, in my normal life, I'm trying to be like very respectful, very happy guy, very humble, but when I go to the fights, I'm trying to change all that stuff to an angry guy, you know, an angry guy, very unrespectful, trying to kill somebody. And when I saw my daughter in that moment, that bad guy comes like 100%, you know, and put my mind in the correct place to try to kill my opponent. And that happened this night.
I know you're proud to represent your own country, but millions of Americans have fallen in love with you as well and are big fans of yours now. So how cool is that to get to have fans all over the world, but especially right here in America where UFC is so big?
So, you know, I'm starting to improve too much my English, for example, so more people can know about me, about my life, about my history. So obviously I have a lot of people support me from my country, you know, from my country, from Mexicans, from Latin America in general. But I have people too around the world, and that makes me feel amazing, you know. It's a dream come true for me.
Thank you.
Brandon, right here. Has it sunk in yet that you are a star now in UFC? Because during the press conference, you asked Dana that, and now, because not only you're a star in Mexico, you're a star in Latin America as well too. This is beyond just Mexico.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, I don't see my social media. I don't see nothing what happened in Mexico. My coach showed me in a video with a lot of people in my 150 people in my gym in Tijuana, celebrating like a crazy people. Everybody crazy there. Very happy by my performance. So we'll see, brother. We'll see what happens after this victory. But I know this victory is huge for everybody. No.
Last question. You were having a success with him standing up. What made you take it to the ground?
Man, I say that before. As I felt the power of Figueiredo in the last fight. You know, I mean, the guy's real. The guy punched hard, but it's nothing out of this world. You know, so I started to throw punches. I started to connect very well in the first round. Then the guy tried to take me to the ground. He did it actually, but then I put him on the on bottom. I'm start to work. I try to be very patient, you know, because he's very explosive. He pushes your hips and try to get up very quickly. So I try, you know, to be very patient in every single position. And you know, the third round, I start to work with my body. I can't remember very well now, but I think it was the body lock, and then we went to the ground, and then his back, and start to work with the body lock, and start to try to find the rear naked choke. I tried once, doesn't work. I was very patient, and try again, and that's it.
Señor Brandon Moreno, congratulations, felicidades.
Muchas gracias.
A few days ago, I asked you, what would you think it was going to be the outcome? And I say knockout or submission. So you made a promise to your fans to finish it earlier, right?
Cierto, muchas gracias.
Yeah, and congratulations. And so the question is, at what point after the first submission failed, because he got away, you believe that you were ready for the next one because you were waiting? And
Yes.
Yep.
So I remember that moment very clear in my mind. I knew I was won the first and second round. So for example, in other fights when I'm started in the UFC, for example, if I was very frustrated if the first submission, if I don't get the first submission, you know, but now I have too much experience. You know, I'm very young. I have 27 years old, but I have too much time in this sport. I have too much experience. So I get the body lock, and I say, I mean, if I don't get the submission, I can control him here, spend some minutes here, punch in the back, and still keep winning the fight. And I did it. I tried first. I can do that in that moment. Try it again. And that's it.
Gracias, campeón. Felicidades.
Brandon, una última pregunta. Perdón, primeramente felicidades, paisano. Pusiste el nombre de nuestro país en alto en UFC. Tenías a la gente bailando, riendo, gritando y hasta llorando, de toda la noche. Hubo un momento que estabas en el suelo, la gente se encendió y gritaba México, México, Moreno, y el famoso dicho sí se puede. ¿Cómo te sentías ahí en ese momento?
Increíble. Y ¿sabes algo? O sea, lo dije con Joe Rogan y lo quiero volver a decir todas las veces que se me sea permitido. O sea, yo vengo de un país en el cual muchas veces nos decepcionamos, ¿no? Porque se escucha mucho el sí se puede, sí se puede. Y muchas veces nos quedamos cortos y no se logra, no se pudo. A veces nos dan carrilla, nos dicen, no, pues no se pudo. Y digo, y todos bien frustrados y tristes. O sea, no sé qué vaya a pasar el próximo año, no sé qué vaya a pasar mañana, el próximo mes. Lo único que sé es que, o sea, le regalé la alegría a mi gente y les quería decir que hoy sí se pudo. Hoy sí se pudo y eso es increíble.
Brandon, Terrible Morales, Jaime Munguía, Rey Misterio, son algunos tijuanenses que han puesto tu ciudad en alto. ¿Qué te sientes por sumarte a esta lista de personajes que han entrado en que han roto, ¿no?, ese nivel, sobre todo de Tijuana y bueno, para todo México?
Mira, la verdad es que, o sea, ya lo había dicho anteriormente, o sea, tenemos una cultura del deporte de contacto muy grande en México, especialmente en el boxeo. O sea, tenemos infinidad de campeones, ¿no? O sea, el Terrible Morales es uno de ellos. También, por ejemplo, o sea, Rey Misterio es un histórico en la lucha libre. Artes marciales mixtas. Hablando de artes marciales mixtas, todavía nos falta camino por recorrer. Yo lo opino así, pero como comentaba anteriormente también, o sea, Caín Velázquez puso el deporte en otro nivel cuando lo llevó a México en 2014. Ahora Brandon Moreno teniendo el cinturón y llevándolo a México y representando completamente los colores, yo, o sea, sé en el fondo de mi corazón que acabo de poner el deporte en otro nivel y es parte del camino y es parte de lo que quiero hacer, ¿no? Que cuando me retire, o sea, la gente sepa quién es Brandon Moreno y estar plasmado en las calles de Tijuana y en México en general.
Brandon, right here.
Hello, brother.
What's up? So you mentioned it earlier. So you came to the UFC. You got released in 2018. You fought your way back. Now you're champion. For any fighter that has been recently released, what's your message to them?
Man, never give up. Sounds easy, you know. Sounds very, very easy. Never give up. You know, the images from social media. You know, the inspirational photos you watch. In some point, it's easy. Never give up. Obviously, the sacrifice, the discipline, that hard moments when you feel like very, very bad and you still go, you keep going. I mean, if you go out of the UFC, it's not the end of the way. I promise, and I really believe in it. And I'm, you know, the graphical description of that. You can do it, you know, free commercial. But you can do it and never give up.
Congrats.
Awesome. Thank you. Love you guys. Thank you so much for everything. I need to eat something. I'm so hungry. I need that pizza.